people say, start with the end in mind. Well, of course, I don't work that way. I work the opposite way. I think that works well if I'm going to ask you for money, for your vote. But in general, when I'm starting a speech, I'm starting with a story I want to tell. So I have a story, and what happens is, as I'm developing the speech, a message bubbles up. And that's a natural development for me. Now, there's a difference between a story and a speech. A story is just, I'll tell you something that happened to me, or some story I made up. But a speech requires a message. That's the difference between a speech and a message. So when you're putting together a speech, there's a point where you have to think, the audience might be asking, why are you telling me this? And for me, as I'm going through developing the speech, I get to a point where I say, what can we learn from this? And sometimes I'll actually say that to the audience. Every speech requires a close, even a story. But you signal the close by the tonality. You slow down. You speak a little more dramatically. What I do is I repeat the last line. The idea is to signal this is the ending. I've seen some people say, well, I'm running out of time, the light's on, and I have no more to say. That's not a way to end the speech. You want to make it sound like it's final, it's over. And this sends a clear signal to the audience to applaud and for the Toastmaster to come up. Now, a good speech requires a message, an actual message. Otherwise, it's a waste of time being up here. Why am I up here? To convey a message. And don't get me wrong, there are times when a story is good enough, like the Halloween story about the bugs in the night. A message is the payoff. That's the payoff, the reward the people in the audience get for listening. It's like a gift to the audience. And when it works well, you can actually see a palpable reaction from the audience. The message should be memorable, unique. It should be you. And by that I mean not some trite expression that you read and we all have heard before. Something should be something that highlights your authenticity. Now, for example, I gave a speech about 3 people who died at a young age. And I'm saying to my wife, where am I going to go with this? This is, it's negative, it's moribund. And what I bubbled up with that as a message was, acknowledge the people around you, the people you care about today, because they may not be here tomorrow. Now that's a powerful message to come out of such a negative speech. Once I came up with that, I don't want to leave my house without saying goodbye to my wife, my dog, and my son. So that's a good message. The failure message. Nothing focuses the mind like failure. It's like I gave the audience the opportunity to experience their failure and grow something from it. I turned it into a positive thing. And even better, I curated a message I stole from Beckett: fail better. Don't just fail, fail better. And there were people who left the contest writing down, fail better. What a great message. So remember, every speech requires a close. A good speech requires a message. A great speech requires a message that is memorable and uniquely yours.